All right, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jean-Baptiste. Thank you guys for getting on the call. One thing I really wanted to focus on today is supply and demand. But seeing the fact that you guys are also on the call today, one thing I try to do on every webinar that I have, I try to give out free information, or I try to give out some type of substance that's gonna help you with the market. All right. So with that being said, after this call, for those that stay at the end of the call, I'll be giving you guys my step-by-step procedures on what I do to get into the trade, my awareness, the importance. One thing I always look for when it comes to the trade, how to break down the TDI, and how to create the supply and demand zone, and how to enter into trade on a monthly, weekly, daily, and I believe I also have the 4-hour as well too. All right. So for those that stay at the end, you have the opportunity of getting this. And for those that where is it, that speak Spanish, I actually have it in Spanish as well too. All right, so I translated this in Spanish, so you have the opportunity for those that do speak Spanish and don't speak English. All right, so there you have it. I definitely want everyone just to be successful in this field. And just recently, I've been very, 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 very successful. And it's just putting the time and effort into this. That's all is to it. Really grinding out each and every day, like it's your last day. Really grinding out each and every day. There's no days off. Even on Saturdays and Sundays, even when the market is closed, I'm still studying, I'm still learning, and I'm still taking the opportunity to grow and to just to learn more about the foreign exchange market. All right, so we're about to get started. But one thing I wanted to show you guys before we get started is actually my screen. Can you guys see me? Everybody can see me real quick? Yes, no, maybe? Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see you, David.
All right. So this is my this is the Texas office, by the way. I just wanted to show you right, what we have in the middle is my dream house and my dream car. And as you can see behind me, this is all my charts that are marked up, that I look on a day-to-day basis. And I literally print out all my markups for the past few weeks, for the past few months, and I go over it each and every day. All right. So this is definitely something that I don't take lightly. I take very, very serious. And I truly believe that, the supply and demand, what I'm going to be teaching you guys today, I truly hope that this really benefits you guys on a larger scale. It's been helping me tremendously. And I just wanted to share the knowledge that was given to me to you guys. All right, so we're about to get started. Okay. All right, so one of the pairs I wanted to focus on is GBP, JPY, which is the Great Britain pound, and which is the Japanese yen. All right, so I'm just gonna take out the EMAs real quick, and this is literally all the data that we have from 2007 to 2018. As you can see, the market had just created one correction. This was one impulse move. Well, this is the impulse move, and created one correction so far in the market, right? So what we would want to look at when it comes to creating our supply and demand zone is we would want to look at the larger time frame, and then we work our way, towards the smaller time frames. The reason for that is because we want to avoid all the distractions that the market present to us when we're on the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the 3-minute, and the 1 minute. right? So we want to focus on just the overall time frame, and I mean the higher time frame, so there's no type of distraction going on. So right now I'm on the monthly GPP JPY. And to avoid any other distraction, even on the monthly chart, normally what I do is I go from the candlestick pattern to the line pattern. The reason why I go from the candlestick patterns to the line pattern is because the line pattern doesn't show the wicks. It shows when the body of the candle is open, and it shows when the body of the candle is closed. It doesn't show the wicks that happen. When you go on a smaller time frame, the weekly and the daily, you're definitely going to see the wicks. And you're definitely going to see the wicks in the line chart. But on the monthly, it takes out all the wicks simply because this is the ultimate close for this candle. And this is the ultimate open for this candle, depending on if we're in a bullish trend or if we're on a bearish trend. All right? So does everybody follow so far? We're in a line chart on GBP JPY, and we start on the monthly. All right? So usually what I do, I usually have a color coding depending on the time frame that I'm looking at. So if you guys want to use the same color coding that I have, by all means, you have the opportunity to do so. All right, so I'm just gonna write it down for you guys, and then we're gonna get right back into it. Right. So on the monthly time frame, I use. Give me a second. Is someone in the chat? Okay. All right. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yes, this is actually recorded. All right. So on a monthly time frame, I use the color gold. The reason why I use the color gold is because every time the markets hits the monthly support and resistance, I know for a simple fact that there's going to be some type of reversal in the market. All right. So I just want to show you real fast my GPP JPY. All right. Just going 15 minutes. So this is my supply and demand zones, and I literally trade with supply and demand zone and Fibonacci and trend lines. That's simply that's all is to it, right? So as you can see, the market on the 15-minute time frame, the market had a rally up to my monthly demand zone, and as soon as it rallied up to my monthly demand zone, it spiked down. So even though it tried to break out, it gave us a bearish engulfing all the way back to this zone. So the way I focus on trading is I focus on the two zones, from one gold zone to another gold zone. So from this monthly supply zone to this monthly demand zone.
Hey, David.
Yes.
Am I supposed to be seeing gold lines at this point? Because if I am, I'm not seeing anything.
Yes, you're supposed to be seeing gold lines.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I still see the line pattern where you typed up something on it. That's all I see.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, are you seeing it now?
Yep. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, no problem. No problem. All right. So this is how my charts look on a regular basis, and I literally have all my charts marked up the same exact way. And as you can see, respected over here. It tried to break out, but it's respected. All right. So let's just go back to GPP JPY because I only have 30 minutes. So I just want to give you guys as much knowledge as possible before I have to skedaddle. All right. Okay. So let me just drag this down for you guys. So my monthly time frame, I use the color gold. For my weekly time frame, I use the color red or light red or pink. It could be light red or light red or pink, depending on how you would like your chart to look. All right. On the daily time frame, I use the green, and on the 4 hour, I use the blue. Okay. So now, this is personally something that I wouldn't say like I came up with it, but I kind of came up with like the different color coding, and it's somewhat like support and resistance, but it's more we're focusing more on the zone instead of focusing more on when you focus on support and resistance, it's more thin, but when you focus on supply and demand, the zone is a little bit more thick, so you're able to see where the market is going to go to that extent, and you're able to understand or create an assessment of what the market is going to do next. All right. So we're on the monthly time frame for GBP, JPY, and we go to the line chart. All right. So the very next thing that you would like to do, you would like to go to the left underneath your account information. It would be the fourth icon to the bottom from the top. All right, the fourth icon from top, and usually it wouldn't be the rectangle, it would be a brush. That's how it would look like. So all you have to do is simply click on the little arrow right next to the brush and click on the rectangle. All right, so once you click on the rectangle, this is how it would look like. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys real soon. This is how the rectangle will look like. All right. Normally, the rectangle, it comes with a border. I believe it comes with a border like this. Okay. It comes with a border like this. All right. So for me, what I usually do, I usually take out the borders because it creates less of a distraction. So what I'll do is I'll double click, or you could simply right click and go to style and just go to border, click on the color, and click on this space right here where there's negative space. And you no longer have the border. All right. And once you're finished with that, you go to background, you click on the color that it's the default color, and then you go to gold. It's the third from the bottom. And this is how normally it look like. But seeing the fact that, I don't want it to look too colorful, I'll just bring it down a notch. I'll bring it between the gold and the green. So it'll be like right here. All right. So now the way I place my supply and demand zone, I place my supply and demand zone on every single tip that you're seeing in the market. Okay. So what that means is that whenever you see like this little triangle, this little tip on the at the edge of the corner right there, these tips, I place my supply and my demand zone on a monthly basis. So it's gonna look something like this, right? So I'm gonna simply drag it to the top of the tip, and that's it. All right, so I'm just gonna copy and paste a few of them so we can have more in the chart, okay? So I'm gonna drag this one down to here. As you can see, it hit twice or it hit 3 times. So this is a strong resistance. All right, so I'm just gonna keep bringing it down. I see this point right here. I see another one right here, okay? So I'm just gonna make a few more copies, and then let me just close this out so we can see a little bit better. And all you gotta do is just simply drag them down. All right. So when it comes to this little corner right here, You don't necessarily have to put one as of yet because this would be a weekly supply and demand zone on a smaller time frame. All right, so we're gonna hold it out on this one as of right now. But we're just gonna focus on like the big moves, like for example, like this. And what you would want to do, you would want to put your supply and demand zone in places where it touches on multiple places. Like the line, the rectangle, the shaded gold monthly zone, it touches multiple times. There's times where it's gonna touch like one time, but this is the high of the year. So that's okay. But one thing you would want to look for, you would want to look for at least for 2 to 3 touches, minimum 2 touches. If it's going to be one touch, it has to be at the bottom, at the very bottom, or at the very top. Like right here. This is like the very bottom. But if you look backwards, it definitely touches over here. So you see how this was once resistance, is now a newfound support. So earlier last year, actually, well, 2016, October 2016, if you had a strong support line, a zone line, and you see that it was once resistance twice, and it became a newfound support, this gives you the ultimate opportunity for you to go in for the buy. Not saying that, I would want for anyone to be in a trade for months because of swap and charges and fees, but you could have got in for a good buy for a few hundred pips. All right. So we're just going to get these little corners right here. And we're going to get these little corners right there. All right. So now this is what I want you guys to do afterwards. So after you guys place your lines, or gals as well too, place your lines, one thing I really want you to do is to double click on a shaded area. So we focus on the style. We fixed the style earlier, and now we're going to focus on the coordinates. All right? You want your zone, especially your supply and demand zone, you want your zone to be at least 10 pips in size, 10 pips in difference. All right, from the top to the bottom, you want it to be at least 10 pips. No more, no less. The reason for that is because if you have a zone area like this is literally 150 pip zone area, about 200 pip zone area. And by having a 200 pip zone area, it's hard and difficult for you to know where the market is going to go, right? So 194 and 192, that's about 200 pips in this zone right here. So it deflects all opportunities to know where the market is going to go, because a 200 pip, you would think that the market is a bullish market, when in actuality it's a bearish. But because the zone is 200 pips, you don't know what's actually happening inside of that zone. All right. So what you would want to do is you wouldn't want to make it a difference of 10 pips. So seeing the fact that it's 194.7 and Japanese yen, we focus on the first two numbers because the second number after the decimal point is a pip. So we're going to focus on the first number after the decimal point. So we're going to change from a 2 to a 4. We're going to keep the 8, and we're going to delete everything else afterwards. And now you have a 10 pip difference. All right, so you see how this thick line just became this thin line? That's how you would want your lines to be, as thin as this. When you go on a 15-minute time frame, it's going to look very, very, very big because 10 pips is a lot. But as of right now, you would want to change all your coordinates to 10 pips. So I'm just going to do this real fast. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask right now. Can you show us what it looks like on a smaller time frame? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go back to my personal Japanese yen. All right, so you see how literally I have all these thin lines? These are my supply and demand zones. All right, so I'm going to 15-minute. I'm going to go back to the candlestick. So this is how it looks. Okay, this is how it looks.
That makes a huge difference in seeing where things are actually.
Can you speak up a little bit? I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said it makes a big difference on seeing exactly where things are falling.
Yes, yes, it does. It does. Because like, for example, see, whenever I see the market near a gold line, I know that this is major respect. That means the market is respecting that line tremendously, right? So the reason why I chose 10 pips is because I know GBP, JPY, it's very volatile. So like when it comes to like USD, JPY, my supply and demand zones are I think my monthly zone is 10 pips as well too. But my daily, my weekly, and my 4 hour is a little bit smaller than my GBP JPY pairs because USD JPY is not as volatile as GBP JPY. GBP JPY it moves about 200 to 300 pips a day, going bullish and bearish at the same time. All right. So I actually wanted to show you, where was it?
So David, another question real quick.
Yes.
You have your gold lines at 10 pips. What are you setting your pips at on the coordinates at on the others?
That's something I'm definitely gonna get into right now. So let me just
Okay.
get back. Let me just get back into it. Okay. All right. So let me just go back to the monthly. All right. So I'll write it here. So for the monthly time frame, the color that I'll be using is gold, and the coordinates is a 10 pip range. So the difference between the top and the bottom of the zone is 10 pips. The weekly time frame, the coordinates is also 10 pips. The daily time frame, depending on the pair that you're looking at, it could be 6 to 8 pips. And the 4 hour time frame is usually 3 to 4 pips. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Anytime. All right. So if anyone want to take a screenshot, by all means, you can. Let me just drag it a little bit closer so you guys can have the opportunity to do so. All right. So I'm just gonna quickly do this real fast because I'm on a time. So change this to 2, just like that. Okay. I change this to 3, 2, that. Okay, change this to 6, 9, 8. There we have it. Change this to 4, 0, and then we have 5. We give it 6, and so I'm just gonna delete these real fast because then I could just simply copy and paste the smaller ones. All right. So one thing I just realized that I personally do myself, and I just totally forgot to do it, is just click on once you finish one of them, you just click on it and then you just copy and paste it. And then you go back and then you go back to the points and then you just drag them back up there like that. Okay. So we're not gonna do the whole entire chart. We're just gonna do the range that we're focusing right now. So right now we're within this range. That's where the market is at. All right. So we're just gonna focus on that real fast. Okay. And there you have it. So I literally have all all the points secured. Okay, and there's one right there. All right. So now, once you have all the points secured, you're gonna go back one more time to coordinates, and you would want to extend your bar as far as you can so that you no longer have to do this for the remainder of your life, right? So I have my bars at 20,000. Well, 15,000. All right. Well, let's make it 10,000. All right. So what that means is that in 2027, you still have a strong supply and demand zone. I would hope everybody's still trading at that time because trading is a lifelong, I guess, a skill set that you can use wherever you go, right? So once you finish with the coordinate and the style, just go to the bar number and then just click on 10,000, and then and you should be good. If you want to extend it to the past as well too, just write a negative right in front of that particular number, okay? And then it's gonna extend to the past, as you can see. All right. So this is how you do the monthly time frame. Give me a second. You want to take that? Yeah. All right. So does everybody follow so far? Everybody's on the same path? Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
No questions now.
Yeah, go ahead. If you have any questions, by all means, go ahead.
No, I said no questions now.
Okay. All right. So once
Hey, David?
Yes.
Hey, this is Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
Hey, just on a sideline thing, I gotta go take care of something, but I want to catch up with you on a one-on-one
Absolutely.
later.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, sweet, because I got a couple important questions.
All right. Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem. All right, take care, buddy.
You too.
All right. So this is the monthly supply and demand zone. All right. So once you feel comfortable and you feel like you literally have every single point in this zone, the next step for you to do is for you to go down one time frame from the monthly to the weekly. So now once you do that, you realize that there's going to be a little bit more. Let me just delete that because we have extra. I think we have extra right here too. Let me just delete that one more time. Okay, we have a lot of extras apparently. All right, so there's going to be a little bit more corners where the body of the candle is closing than there are on the monthly. Understand that 4 weekly candles creates a monthly candle, and 7 daily candles creates a weekly candle. So when you go on a smaller time frame, there's going to be a little bit more distraction. That's why we start from the higher time frame, and then we work our way towards down to the lower time frame. Okay. So if you guys, one thing I actually wanted to add onto it, there's going to be a part 2 after this. If you guys wanted to add the monthly time frame, like the ones I have here on the side, I could definitely show you that as well too. Okay, so all you have to do is go to the left. It's going to be the second icon. It's going to be the trend line. You're going to click on the little arrow next to the trend line. You're going to click on horizontal line. Once you click on horizontal line, you go right next to the monthly, and then you tap it. All right. So once you tap it, you're going to double click on it. You're going to go to style. You're going to change it to the same color as the monthly line. And then usually what's going to happen is that the show text box is not going to be clicked on. It's going to be clear. So you want to click on the show text box, and then you want to write monthly zone. Okay. So now you have the opportunity you have on the monthly zone on the left side, as you see here. You have the opportunity of having it in the center, as you see here. And you have the opportunity on having it on the right side as well, okay? If you want to change the font size, you can. If you want to change it to Times New Roman as well too, you can. If you want to make it bold, you can as well too. Whatever you feel comfortable with, all right? If it's not aligned like this, you can just click on the little arrow right next to it, and you just click on the line, okay? So now, another thing I wanted to show you guys as well too before we start on the weekly time frame is if you want to lock all your supply and demand zones so that once you're looking at a smaller time frame, it doesn't move around like this, all you simply have to do is go to the left side. There's two ways of doing it. You could go to the left side, scroll all the way to the bottom where it says Show Object Tree, and you click Lock for all the monthly zones. Okay? So that way it doesn't move while you're looking at the market. So everything stays still. All right? Even the horizontal line for the monthly, everything stays still. So now if you want to move it, oh wow, it doesn't move. So that usually helps, just in case like you're drawing your fibs and the cursor of the mouse just accidentally just scroll somewhere, like you don't want to move the zones. All right. Another way to do it is just by simply clicking right click, or if you have a Mac computer, double right click and just click on lock. All right. So you're able to unlock it as well as lock it. Okay. Yeah. So these are like some of the simple tricks that I learned from TradingView. All right. So the very next step that we're gonna do is we're actually going to click on one of the monthly zones, and we're gonna press Command C or Control C, I believe, for HP, and we're gonna copy, and we're gonna press Command V or Control V, and we're gonna paste it. And this is the line right here. Okay, we're gonna double click on it, and we're gonna change it to the style of red. If you want the same red as I have, it's the fourth red to the bottom, or the fourth, red to the top. It's in the middle, okay? So seeing the fact that everything is locked, I'm gonna have to unlock it real fast. I'm just gonna have to drag it down. So now I have the 10 pip range for my weekly supply and demand zone as well too. All right, I have less than 1 minute, so I'm gonna send you guys the new link. It's gonna be on my page in my comment section box. If you guys want to come on the next webinar, by all means. And I just want to show you guys a little tricks and tips on how supply and demand zone is able to help you become a little bit more profitable in your trading. All right, so thank you guys. See you guys soon.
Thanks, David.
See you soon.
Thank you.